What's going on, folks? Let's have a conversation. I'm your host, Class, and this is my co-host,
Miss Pie.
And we're here to talk to you about whatever comes to mind. So we decided we want to talk about our 9-year anniversary, and we wanted to talk about some serious questions for you guys, to kind of give you guys a little bit of us personally, and then maybe a little bit of wisdom for you guys to, enjoy.
So we actually wrote them down because it's not something that we could just go off, the bat.
No.
But we wanted to prepare for this edition so that way we can go over this with you guys.
Exactly.
So you can go ahead and read the title.
Oh, okay. So it's 9-year anniversary edition, our marriage. Anyways, what it's like to be in a long-term relationship, married.
Yeah. So a lot of the time, sometimes, I would say not all the time, we come across people who are like, wow, it's been a really long time that you guys have been together.
Yep.
How do you guys do it? Or if anyone is ever wondering how you maintain a relationship for this long, it's almost 10 years. This is what we kind of wanted to go over.
Yeah. So you want to go with me? You want me to read this off?
You can read the first one, yeah.
Okay, great, cool. All right. So especially if they're also your BFF, and there's the pros and cons in that.
Yeah. So we're gonna go by each topic. So this one, it was about. I wrote it down because I thought it was pretty interesting. A lot of the times we actually came across realizing that not only are we each other's, significant other, we happen to be our best friends, and
yeah.
as much as it sounds very cheesy, I know I hear it all the time. My husband or my boyfriend's my best friend. Yeah, I wish that was the truth in every sense.
Yeah.
I wish that out for everyone. That's something that I really would like people to be having in their life because it makes people happy. But over time, you just realize as a couple, who is really your best friend. And it's not something that's off the bat simple.
No, it's not.
It's hard. And people like to think, oh, married to your best friend must be amazing. It is. It is.
Well, no, I mean, look, take being a friend in general. If you're a real friend, okay, let's get real. If you're a real friend, the type of friend that would be there for a friend at a drop of a hat. Those friends that you spent those majority of the times you commit to, you're going to have your little scrabbles here and there. You guys are going to have your disagreements. Sometimes they're going to tell you things you don't like to hear. You're going to tell them things they don't like to hear. And, sometimes you guys are going to need to, say something to each other and then blow off some steam and then kind of come back and, just be whatever's about it. But that's kind of every relationship, brothers and sisters, mom and dad.
I'm going to reiterate. I don't want to make it sound bad. Because it is the cheesy part. I hear it all the time. My boyfriend or my husband is my best friend.
Yeah.
And it's they only focus on the good. It was so cute. And you guys are you're in sync and all that stuff. It's not only cute. I want it to be real.
Exactly.
The real love. Real love consists of the ugly and the amazing.
Yeah, it takes a handful of things. So the pros and cons to that, I want to say, what would you say?
It's being a best friend, a pro. I love that sometimes he'll say things that I'm thinking of. That's a pro for me.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel okay, I'm not alone. In the way that I feel about stuff.
Yeah.
He's vibing at the same rate that I am or whatever, in the same frequency. And it's awesome. And it makes you feel on top of the world. And also, best friend, he has my back over everyone else. And I could literally say that. Till death do us part. He took that shit serious. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I've never had a friend who was as down as he is.
Aw.
I'm just gonna say that. That's my best friend. But
I feel emotional here.
But
Same.
A con for me is that because you're so sometimes you will fucking crash. You guys are both different individuals, and if you guys are you have that in common, me and you have the passion in common. We're very opinionated, very passionate. So that can crash sometimes because I feel so strongly about something and he does too.
Yeah.
We get into these bad fights,
Yeah.
you know, and it could be like messy or whatever. I'm going to be real. I'm not ashamed of that. That's a big part of knowing how to fight, but that's a different topic.
Yeah.
But that's a pro and a con for me.
So I want to say the pro to having, having a really close relationship with someone you care about, like you genuinely enjoy their company. Mm-hmm. That's how I honestly can say the pro thing about being with someone is that you guys aren't always looking for what everybody else is looking for. For us, it's like drama. Mm-hmm. We're not always looking for like the snippet of being like, we're kind of more like we just want to chill. So for us, I feel like that's the pro to being friends, like really close to each other in that way, is that we feel that vibe to just want to just relax the majority of the time. And because of that, we're so chill. We like feed off each other that way. And I feel like that gives us that positive reinforcement we like, that we really have sometimes that we always kind of missed out on in certain times in our lives. Mm-hmm. The con, though, I will say, is that obviously, you guys know each other very well. 9 years together, we're going to know each other very well. So you know each other psychologically, okay? And psychologically, you know how to mess with each other. You know how to say certain things to taunt each other. Let's get real. We do it intentionally. We can act like we don't, but we do it intentionally. And we got to kind of put that pistol back in the holster, because that kind of con, it sometimes can make or break relationships. I think because depending how often you do that, it really can depend on how much happiness is in a relationship and how much not happiness is in a relationship. Anyways, we got to move forward. Their needs versus your own and how to compromise.
Yep. So I wanted to go over this one because I feel like maybe it's not talked about enough. That love isn't just a feeling; it's a commitment, and it's not something. It's not a feeling like you have this like honeymoon phase. Sure, we have the honeymoon phase. It never goes away. You bring it back, but it's not all the time that you feel that way.
Exactly.
I want to make that very clear. People get into relationships sometimes and they give up because they think that it's supposed to feel amazing 24/7.
Oh yeah.
And it's not. That's not the case. It's a commitment.
Oh yeah.
It just matters at the end of the day that like you love them, and at the same time, you're committed to growing together.
Yeah. Exactly.
Helping each other grow. You have to know when not to accept the things that are being thrown your way. You have to know how to compromise. That's a big, I can't stress that enough, compromising.
Yes.
I
totally agree.
It's just in the sense of being an individual. And individuality means sometimes you might be different. And that's okay. So you agree, disagree, as long as you both know that you're okay with that you respect each other for being different.
Yeah, and you got to remember, some people don't realize this. This is why I want to say high school relationships can be a little tricky, because they do have the tendency to be a make or break there. And sometimes being in a relationship for as long as your high school years, you didn't explore yourself as much. So you didn't really get a chance to know whether or not you really liked anything else. You just kind of selected because you thought immediately the moment you met this person, that was it. Mm-hmm. But how do you really know if you haven't really gotten a chance to explore, I'm not saying explore yourself sexually, but explore yourself in dating wise, just meeting people, connecting. Yourself, even that. And just getting to know yourself personally. Yeah. There's a lot to that. And I feel like commitment in high school can be that. It could be tricky that way. That's why I was happy to find my true love when I was 20, I believe, at the time. And she was 21. Yeah. And 21. What do you call it? I felt like that was the kind of the prime time, because we had our fun before then. And we were kind of like, me and my girl, we were like, no, we're good. We're kind of in our point when we were like, we like where we've been. We're comfortable.
We liked the fun, but we were also, not looking for just fun in a relationship. We wanted love.
In case you guys are wondering what that sound is, that is our dog licking out of her water bowl.
She always does that.
I know. So, getting into this, commitment is a big deal. You have to really decide yourself. Sometimes people think that they have decided themselves, but you got to mature. Mm-hmm. Let yourself take time, get to know each other, spend time with each other, but don't get too serious in a commitment relationship just yet. Commitment, like I'm telling you, you have to see their ugly side.
Yeah.
When they wake up in the morning, when they're cranky, when they're not at their best, when they're depressed, when they're not in a good mood, when they don't want to go out but you want to go out. There's a lot of things.
Like, you gotta be willing to compromise. Sorry, not compromise. You're gonna be willing to make a commitment to love this person in sickness and in health.
That's a real. Those words are real. Like, we got married.
They're
those
real.
things are Those are real. But
it's like you need a reminder.
Even if you're not married and you're just in love in general and you just want to be happy and live with this person forever, you remember the commitment you're making when you choose to pick this person as your significant other. Because this person is going to take care of you, or take care of maybe a child, or, or is going to be your adventure buddy for life. So you just have to choose wisely. Anyways.
Yep. Next point. A big part of being in a relationship that's long-term or married involves forgiveness and saying, I'm sorry when you're wrong. So, knowing ownership. If you know you're wrong and you messed up, saying I'm sorry and forgiving your partner for not being perfect.
Yeah.
We have to remember that nobody is perfect. They will hurt you. Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
It's not maybe their intention to hurt you, but they will, because they're not thinking the same way you are.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to know that nobody's perfect, and there is no right or wrong, just different people. And it's either love or it's no love. And forgiving each other is a huge part of it. Like I said, you have to forgive them for not knowing how to love you sometimes.
So when it comes to admitting you're wrong, there are going to be moments where you're going to need to check yourself and just really think about the long term of this argument you're about to pursue. That's going to take maybe hours, days, or weeks. Just think about it before you decide if that's the move you really want to do based on pride and stubbornness. Sometimes it's letting it go is much more easier than letting it consume you and letting it take a long ride. Okay, so I will say that it's a lot of work.
It is work.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it's not for the weak.
And then
if you're selfish and you can't take being wrong, this is not for you.
And you gotta admit when you're wrong and apologize. Look, people sometimes, I've seen people, they don't even admit it or they don't apologize. Sometimes they just come back. Now I get it. Sometimes there are moments when you guys can argue and there's like this moment where you guys can come back and you'd be like, okay, this was whatever. But those are long-term commitment goals, right? Those took time to work on.
Yep.
It's not like that, snap of the finger. So to do this, you have to be aware that it's going to take time for someone to admit that they're wrong. You need to give each other space, but you need to come back and acknowledge it. Because if you ignore it and you say nothing all the time and you don't apologize, no one is acknowledging anything, and it just continues on. It will continue to make life miserable.
That's how divorce happens.
Yeah, you never really communicate. You didn't listen. So just think about all that.
Exactly. So forgiveness, and be willing to be open and saying I'm sorry when you're wrong.
Damn right.
Next bullet point.
How's it going, folks? Class here. Just giving you guys a heads up that this was a part 1 to a 2.5 to 3 part series that we recorded. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first one. If you guys did enjoy it, please, again, leave a like, a comment, subscribe to the channel, and show us some love. And we really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Enjoy. Peace.